All right, awesome. Well, it's about 2 after the hour, and I'll keep monitoring the chat window up here. But yeah, let's get this call started so we don't waste anyone's time. So again, welcome to the November monthly call. We have, I think, somewhat shorter call today, but we're looking forward to sharing where we are on the Small Y website development roadmap, and we have a few other reminders. And and yeah, I think that is about it for our agenda. But let me ask, Shelley or Avi, which one of you fine people are sharing the slides today?
I
So
can
are
go
you
ahead
good
and
to get
throw up the
started?
deck. I can throw up the deck, Avi, if you'd like. That way you
Yeah, go
can.
for it.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool, thank you. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. So yeah, here's our official agenda. Oh, there it goes. So yeah, when we will look at a small Y project demo. And then I just want to run through again some reminders that I've made in the last handful of calls. I apologize for my repetitiveness, but I want to make sure the word gets out about the virtual Y, as well as the themes that are deprecated at the end of the year. And then I believe that Shelley's going to talk about some roadmap reminder things, and we'll wrap up with the usual listing of our community resources that we urge all of you to use, and any Q&A. So with that, let's get into the bulk of the call. Let's see, am I taking this one or are you, Shelley?
That works for me, Tom.
Okay.
Okay. So our next release is now projected for December 3rd. So mark your calendars. And in this release, we will have the small white template package. And that will include new menus and navigation. We'll have an updated utility menu, mega menu, footer menu, and some breadcrumbs for you. We've got four new banner variations for you as well. We've got a lot of common page building components. I'm not going to list them all here since you can read them yourselves, but the majority of them reflect what we already have back in the layout builder design system. So the majority of those page building components will be available for you in the small Y template as well. We've also got some common content types, such as our branches and facilities, articles, and events. And we will also have a sandbox ready for you all with some demo content. So when you install a small Y template, if it's something you choose to use, we'll come out of the box with some pre-built pages and some pre-built components for you. So you'll have some demo content. Moving on to 2025, which we're starting to build out releases for now. We'll be doing some small white template technical debt cleanup and likely some improvements to the admin interface as well. We have ongoing layout builder improvements and bug fixes, some of which will also be included in the December release. So keep your eye out on the release notes for any potential bug fixes that might impact your association if you're using layout builder. We'll also be moving forward with some not so pretty and fun technical updates to Vue.js and Bootstrap 5. A couple other things we have that are a little more interesting coming up are some iconography for the design system still being worked on. We've got the bulk of it ready to go, but some of it is still being kind of massaged for some of the different colorways that we have available. And then we're also planning on dark mode for the design system. So if you've probably noticed on your computer, especially lately, more and more software is using the option for light mode or dark mode or a hybrid of both. So we're going to make that available in the distribution as well. For June, we also have some more technical updates, including Drupal 10.3, potentially Drupal 11 update. We'll keep you informed on the progress with that. Again, more ongoing layout builder improvements and bug fixes. So if there are things that your team sees as you're making the transition into layout builder, please go ahead and reach out to us in Slack or reach out to your development partner. If there's issues you find, please pass them back to the distribution so we can fix them for everyone. That's something we're going to be doing probably for the next bit of 2025 as well. Then some more not pretty stuff, the finalization of the Vue.js updates and Bootstrap 5 updates. And then hopefully starting in the summer, we can finally get the membership calculator updated design and a new financial aid estimator out for you all. And with that, we're going to have a quick demo of the Small Y template project. And I'll just give you guys a quick update before I pass it on to Avi and Stasia to do a quick demo. Where we are in the process. So currently we're kind of in between phase 1 and phase 2. We are still in progress with development and quality assurance, but we've also started user acceptance testing. So we're pretty far along in our progress. So we expect to be finished by that December 3rd release date. With that, we will have all of the components that I listed in the first slide. Plus, we'll have the small Y demo content site as well. And with that, we are going to do a quick demo for you. So I think I will stop sharing my screen and pass it on to Afi or Stasia to take the next bit of the demo here.
Hello, everyone. Thank you again for allocating time to join our monthly meeting today, and thank you, Shelley, for the introduction. So I'm going to share my screen now. Please let me know if you can see it well. All right.
Yep, we see it.
Yep, yeah, all good.
Great. Thank you so much. Just a second. All right, so yeah, as Shelley mentioned, today we are going to guide you through some progress that we have done since our last community call. You can see on the list here that some of the items are still in progress and coming soon, such as alerts, articles, search results, and 404 pages, but also branch amenities and donations. But besides that, we are going to show you everything else. I know it looks like a big list, but I will try to make it short and simple. So let's start with the new components. And the first one we have here is the carousels. So the first thing is that the design was adapted to match the style of the small Y template. But besides that, there were also several adjustments to the functionality of the carousels. For example, right now it's not possible to place them in the header, like hero banner area. There is only a possibility to place it in the body section of the page. And there are some limitations. Right now, there is a possibility to add a maximum 6 items per one carousel section. Moving forward to the next one, we have our icon grid. From the functionality perspective, nothing has changed much here, but the design was adjusted to align with the small Y template style. And here you can see how it looks like with the 4, 3, and 2 items per row. The next one we have is testimonials. Yeah, the general look and feel of it was improved, and also we set some limitations to allow the possibility to add also 6 items per one testimonial section. Moving forward to our flexible card style components, and here the design was also tailored to fit the small Y template aesthetic. And right now there is a possibility to display 4 cards across the page, depending on the chosen layout. And also in our plans for future, we would like to add some configurations to simplify the use of the cards component. For example, we would like not to include the settings for card shape, borders, but it might come in the next releases. And here you can see how it looks like with the image and without the image. The next one we have is the staff members component. So here, besides the look and feel, we also adjusted some functionalities. For example, the whole card is clickable right now. Whenever you click on the name or on the image, it will automatically redirect you to the email service that is attached to your browser. I cannot show it to you since there are some private emails there, but you just have to believe me, it works. And also, as you can notice, the emails are hidden right now. Based on our experience, we made this decision to reduce some spam and bot attacks. And this adjustment has been made not only for the small Y template, by the way. And here you also can see how it looks like for 4 items, 3 items, and 2 items per row. Moving forward, the next component we have here is the accordion. We just added some cleaner user interface, adjusted the style for the small Y template, removed some underlines from the text, adjusted the icons, and in general, just improved its styling. The next one is tabs. Here, I'd like to mention that we also did some backend job, which is not visible, but we fixed several bugs related to the element switching and tab freezing in certain cases. So right now the user experience got improved for this component. And also there is a limitation to place 4 items per one tab component. The next one we have here is the statistic components, completely new look for small y. Yeah, as you can see, it looks significantly different from other templates. And also we would like to introduce 2 types of colorways here. The first one is the statistics in color. The second one is the statistics in gray color. And also there is a possibility to adjust the amount of items per this component here, how it looks with the 3 items and with the 2 items. The next one is the pin pawn. Probably one of my favorite one. I think this look has also significantly changed from the previous version of the pin pawn component, and I really like the way it looks right now. So we adjusted the alignment of the image, and also we made some adjustments to the way the pin pawn component is configured. Right now, there is a possibility to create like a set of blocks with pin pawns, and the alignment of the image, I actually can show you. Give me just a moment. If we decide to configure the ping pong component, here it is. So before that, when you were adding new items to the pin pawn, you had a possibility to adjust the alignment of the image right here. Right now, for more consistency, we moved those configurations to the Style tab. Under Y Style, there is a possibility to choose the image alignment and the colorway configuration, whether it's gray, white, or color. And here you can also see how it looks like in the gray color and in the white color. And here we got to the footer, and I guess I just want to dedicate several words to the social media icons. So before it was necessary to adjust the links for the social media every time when you create the new page. Right now, the links for the social media will be preserved for all pages. So if you go to the YMCA website services settings, WS settings, here you will have the fields to adjust the links for all the social media links, and you need to do it only once. After that, when you are creating the new page, the links will be preserved for all the new pages that you are creating. But also, of course, there is a possibility to change the link for a particular page if it's necessary. And before we move to discuss a couple of content types, I also wanted to show you the banners. I know that we presented them at our previous monthly meeting, but since the time we did some testing, we added some bug fixes and in general improved the way they look. So I just want to dedicate a couple seconds to show it one more time. So here we have 6 different options for the banners variations. 2 of them are for promos. And moving forward to the content types, we made some adjustments to the branches and events. Speaking about the branches, again, I know I repeated myself a lot, but the design was refined to be more consistent with the small white template. And we adjusted the fonts, the icons, the colors, and the same work has been done for the events. But one more functionality adjustment for the events that we did is that right now when you are creating the new event content type, the related event sections will be added there by default. So before you had to manually edit every time you create the event content type, right now it will be automatically added here. But of course, there is a possibility to remove it manually if for some reason you don't need it. This adjustment was basically just made to make the content editing process simpler and faster. And I think this is everything I wanted to show you today. I'm going to pass the mic to Avi, and he will continue and present a couple more things related to the menus, partners, component, and several other things. Thank you so much, Avi. You can share your screen.
Thanks, Nasia. I'll get this going here. Yeah, so there's a lot going on. We've got a lot of improvements, and we're excited about I'm going to talk about a couple of things that are coming to the small Y template that are also getting included into the main distribution. A number of these are requests that we've had from otherwise in the last year or so, and some are additions that were proposed for the template that we thought were really great, and we'd like to bring them back in. So The first is the utility menu. We already had kind of a flexible set of menus in the header with the main menu and the user account menu that's there on the left side, or on the right side, sorry. But now a number of folks wanted to retain the utility menu functionality that they had in prior configurations of their site. So now there's another option for the utility menu up here in the upper right of the site. We've also moved there's an option to move the search either into the utility menu or to keep it in the main menu area. And all of this works pretty well on mobile as well. So the utility menu and the language switcher show up down here at the bottom, and it allows for a number of different options in the mobile menu. This is also configurable, and so if you have already set up your layout builder site, it's not going to just magically make a new menu, but it allows you to use that if you want to. That is the menu. Another thing that you'll see more in the small Y template that is also going to be available in the distribution is the breadcrumbs block up here. The breadcrumbs were available in the distribution before, but we've made a number of improvements to them to make them work better across all the pages. And in the small Y, you'll see the breadcrumbs more consistently across all the pages, and that will be coming back to the main distro as well. Next thing I want to highlight is the partners block. There are some changes to this that have been requested. A number of folks use this to list sponsors for events or other things that are going on at their association. And one of the big pieces of feedback that we heard was that most of the time when you have an event, you have different tiers of sponsors that you want to highlight all together. So we've made changes to this to add a tier option to the block. So now when you create a sponsor block, you'll have the option of adding a tier level. So gold, silver, and bronze are just the ones that we added to the demo content. Everybody likes to have different names for their tiers, so you can name that tier whatever you like. And then in each tier, you can add any number of sponsors or partner items. Those you can also rearrange once you add them and edit them as you see fit. So we're hoping this will be a great way for folks to better highlight all of the folks that are supporting them in their associations. Next up is ping pongs. As Stasia said, those have a bunch more functionality, and they'll function similar to the sponsor tiers, in that you'll now have the option to add a section where the images go back and forth, and you just set the kind of starting item, or you can set each one individually. So we're hoping that's an improvement and helps folks kind of build out their sites in a more consistent manner. The final item I will show is the table or simple text block. And so if we go up here, so in the distribution for a long time, we've had this simple text block that also gives us some table styles. There were a few things that were supposed to be working to make the tables more responsive, so that on mobile devices they were able to display it a little bit better. Here you can see that working now. So this is a table that on desktop is showing 4 columns, but on mobile it has these arrows that let you scroll back and forth a little more responsively. That's going to help out. There is also going to be more styles for setting like zebra striped rows, setting some backgrounds and different styles for the tables. Those will all be available in the template as well as in the main distro as well. And that's what I have. I will pass it over back to Shelley. Or Andre, you taking this?
Huh, sorry about that. My buttons weren't working. I will grab the presentation again. Excuse me.
You know, Shelby, while we're looking, there's a question from Brian Jagoda about will those arrows on the table be available for regular websites and not just the small Y? Hey, graphical thumbs and real thumbs up. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, it'll be available for the whole distribution.
Awesome.
Hold on one sec. I just gotta find my window. I have too many windows open. Okay. When you make the slideshow big, it makes it hard to locate the screen. Okay, there we are. Good. All right. Thank you so much, Avi. And okay. Tom, do you want to take this or shall I?
Sure. No, I can take this. So this is, a carryover from last month, but I want to make sure that the word gets out that the Lily and Rose themes official support is ending at the end of this calendar year. And also official support for the paragraphs content types are ending at the end of this calendar year. But I also want to clarify that that doesn't mean that the supporting code is being removed from the code distribution. It merely means that no additional functionality updates or security patches are going to be released. So, right, as you see in the chat, the modules are still available for use, but just know that there'll be no enhancements made to them. But that code will never be pulled from the site. So please work with your partners to plan any kind of migrations or changes based around that, but just know it's not a fire drill. And then another reminder from my end for those of you that have a virtual Y website that's hosted with YUSA, those sites are going to be decommissioned at the end of the calendar year. I know I've communicated with all of you about that deadline and making plans to have your site removed or to talk to me about any kind of related planning, but I want to make sure that the instructions for how to cancel is circulated. Again, you just log right into your site using your site owner username. You can go to any admin screen, but the example here is just to go to the configuration screen. At the very bottom, there is that section for submitting a support ticket. Go ahead, click that link. Just let me know when you want us to take down your site. And we will do that on that date. And I'll also notify our finance department that they should stop billing you at that time as well. And of course, if I don't hear from you, then we will stop billing at the end of the year and the site will go offline on that date. And of course, let me know if you have any questions. You can email me at ycloud@ymca.net or add it to this chat here. And right, I think now I'm passing it back to Shelley.
Great. Typical, I think we've been doing these every every presentation for a while now. But if you'd like to submit ideas for new features, if you have bugs on your site that are bugging you and you'd like to let us know about them, or you have any other feedback about ongoing features in our roadmap, please go ahead and go to ds-docs.y.org/roadmap and submit your ideas to us. We're building our roadmap for 2025, and we'd love to have your input. And passing it back over, I can just do this real quick since I'm already talking. And on that note, if you want to get in touch with us, we have all of these methods. We have our gateway to the digital services website. We also have our docs website, which is super useful if you have any questions and you kind of want to help self-guide yourself through through any questions you might have without having to reach out to the greater community. There's a lot great documentation in here for you. We also have a YouTube channel with lots of videos and tutorials as well. We have our GitHub code repository, and we also have our Slack, which I believe someone will throw into the chat shortly, so you can reach out if you have any questions or concerns in Slack as well.
Those links are all in the chat.
All right. And that is the end of the presentation.
Cool, great. So yeah, I think there was a question that was addressed. Andre, you jumped in on that. But the question was, it would be good if the social media links in the footer would have an option to open them in a new tab instead of the existing tab. I wasn't sure if that was already in the design or not.
It's already in the design. By default, social media links opened in the new window. Thank you, Avi, for pointing that. And I just validated that on the sandbox. So yes, it's true.
Great, great, thank you. And let's see, do we have any other questions? I don't see anything else that's unanswered in the chat, but does anyone
Yeah,
want to come up
maybe worth just repeating. David Watson asked question, what is the process for paragraphs to layout builder migration like? Are there any potential issues in this process? So it's worth mentioning that there is no automated process of migration because it's too complex to automate. And we have suggested a so-called lazy migration where content editors can start creating new pages in Layout Builder and unpublish all pages in paragraphs. We also see that some of the whys, because there is a difference in look and feel when page built in Layout Builder versus paragraph. Some whys decide to rebuild all site in Layout Builder and launch it like a redesigned site. And it's up to association to decide because usually it's connected to resourcefulness and to marketing needs, right? But for some whys, it's preferable to build like a section on the site in Layout Builder and sunset some other section on the site in paragraphs.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Does anyone else have any questions? Anyone want to come off of mute?
I just wanted to make a quick note to support Andre in his statement about the transition to Layout Builder. Right now at ImageX, we have people doing both. We have folks that are kind of doing a whole new relaunch where they kind of go behind the scenes, add their new pages in Layout Builder, and then launch a new site. And then we have other folks that are kind of doing section by section. So maybe they're doing their event pages and article pages first, and then they're doing their program pages and then their branches and things like that. So they're kind of moving through the different sections of their site, just depending on how important it is. One thing we've been finding within this process is that it is a bit manual. So if there are things that you when you start the transition that you find that are either challenging or you might see some ideas for improvements in that flow, we're obviously open to hearing people's ideas for that because it is a very manual process. And if there are some ways that we can support and assist, we'd be happy to hear what that could look like. So as you're making that transition, please let us know what you're dealing with. It's kind of a new thing. We've only got, I think, maybe half a dozen at ImageX or so that are making the transition right now. But I think in 2025, it'll be a lot more of a thing for a lot of people. So we'll start to hear more feedback from more whys. So we'd love to hear your feedback as you start that transition.
There's a very interesting question that just came in, and then I'll get back to yours, Brian. But the question is, when going through that lazy migration, is it possible to have the migration or the main nav, sorry, for the old pages look and behave like the layout builder? I mean, the answer is no, but there might be some better, more in-depth technical explanation for that. I don't know if anyone wanted to take that.
Yeah, I can take that. So the answer is out of the box, we've kind of given the the couple options that are that we've talked about, just kind of building new pages and transitioning as you go. That said, one of the benefits of Drupal is there's a lot of possibilities. And so we have worked with a number of sites and ImageX to kind of give them a little bit more functionality to change the menus, to move some of the things in there. So yeah, there's a kind of limited set of options out of the box, and that's intentionally so that we kind of funnel folks through a relatively narrow channel. But when you're working with a development partner, there's a lot more customization that's available. So that's those are all options.
Great, awesome. And then going back up to your question, Brian, and Andre has already addressed that. But what are the benefits of Layout Builder? Let's sell Layout Builder to the community.
Yeah, so I can just repeat what I'm typing. So first thing, it's completely different content editing experience. And Layout Builder is drag and drop experience where you see what you built right away before you save your page. Your page will look almost the same when you build it after you save it. Another thing which is really important for us as a distribution creators and for the agency that support your sites is that Layout Builder is a Drupal core. Drupal is a foundation for the distribution. So Layout Builder won the battle. What is the best UX for the content editing? Versus paragraphs is still an option. It's a good contrib model. A lot of sites, a lot of customers using it, but it stays in the contrib area for the Drupal. That's why Layout Builder for all of you and for us will reduce maintenance depth. It will receive a lot of updates and improvements going forward because it's part of the core of the distribution. That's why we chosen to switch to paragraphs, and hopefully you'll find these benefits when you start building pages in it, because I'm really enjoying build pages in Layout Builder. It's really simple and understandable while you build it.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
selling a Layout Builder. That's the right one.
Yes. Yeah, you got it. You got it. Let's see. David's asking, what is the current version of the distribution, of the latest version of the distribution? So he can check.
Yep. So I just pasted a link to the set of release notes that we maintain in the docs. There's similar in GitHub as well. So the August release, August 2024 was the last major release. That was version 10.3.3. So you can always check that either on GitHub or in the docs. I'll paste the GitHub link as well. It looks like we did have a couple bug fixes after that too, but we haven't posted the docs for those.
Yeah, to add to that, usually we release some hot fixes without doing major announcement, unless it's really like stable or security fix. So you can rely on the DS docs. This is the source of truth. But when you or your association or your partner will upgrade the site, they will receive the latest version while they do this. So yeah.
Great. Yeah, thank you both. Awesome. Do we have any other questions? We have the whole hour. All right. Going once, going twice. All right. It looks like the floor is clear. Well, all right. Well, again, thank you all so much for taking this time and coming to the meeting. I'm going to post this meeting recording to the usual playlist on our YouTube channel for digital services, and then I'll put an announcement for the link in the Slack. So again, thanks everyone, and have a wonderful November and Thanksgiving, and we're looking forward to seeing you the second Wednesday of December. So thank you all.
Thank you, community.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Tom.
Take care all.
Thank
We'll
you.
close.
Thanks, everyone.